Hi, in this video we're going to be showing you how to assemble this bar stool. But before we get started, just a couple reminders. Make sure to have a Phillips head screwdriver and just be sure all the pieces are facing the right way when you're putting them together and you'll do great. So with that in mind, let's get into it. In steps 1 through 4, we'll be putting the frame of the chair together. So we have pieces 3, 4, 5, 8, and 9. And so we'll start with step 1, where we're going to put the feet on the bottoms of pieces 3 and 4. So you can go ahead and put those on and just make sure that the curved inside part is facing towards the leg so it fits snugly. Okay, and once you have those all tightened, you can move on to step 3. And in this step, we'll be attaching pieces 8 and 9 to piece 3. In this step, there's a couple things you want to watch out for. First, you want to make sure that piece 8 goes onto the higher holes and piece 9 onto the lower ones. And also, these pieces are just a little bit leaning, so you want to make sure that where it leans more inwards is going up with the shape of the chair. So we'll go ahead and attach piece 8 first. We'll be using bolt C for this. And then we can attach piece 9 to the other side. And again, just make sure that these end pieces are facing inwards and follow the shape of the chair. Okay, and once you have those all tightened, we can go ahead and move on to step 4, where we'll be putting this piece onto piece 4. So you're just going to go ahead and flip this over and then line up the holes on pieces 8 and 9 with piece 4. And they should sit mostly flush with the piece. If for whatever reason they're really not lining up, you may just have one of the pieces backwards, so just go back and turn it around and try again. So we can go ahead and put the bolts into these. And with this step, just go ahead and put each of the bolts in part way until you have them all in, and then you can tighten them completely. Okay, and once those are all tightened, we can go ahead and move on to step 4. And in step 4, we'll be attaching piece 5 to this frame. With piece 5, you're just going to want to be sure that you have this smooth side facing up and the side with all the holes facing down. So we're going to go ahead and stand up the legs. And when attaching piece 5, you just want to be sure that you have the smaller side on the same side as this higher bar. So we'll go ahead and line this up, and we can go ahead and put the bolts in. All right, and once you have all of those bolts tightened, you're good to move on to the next step. In steps 5 through 7, we'll be attaching the top of the chair to the frame we've already built. So for this, we'll be using pieces 1, 2, 7, and 6. And so for step 5, we're just going to be attaching the legs onto this cushion, and you just want to make sure that the smaller part on the cushion lines up with the smaller part on the chair. So we'll go ahead and put those together, and we'll secure them with bolts B. And you just want to make sure that you have the washers on there before you put them in. Okay, and once you have those all tightened, we can go ahead and move on to step 6, where we'll be attaching the back pieces. So for this step, you just want to be sure that you have the pieces on the right sides so that they curve inwards towards the back of the chair. We can go ahead and secure these with bolt C. All right, once those are all tightened, you can go ahead and move on to step 7. So we'll just stand the chair up, and then we'll be putting piece 1 onto the back. And you just want to be sure that all of the holes line up, and if they don't, you probably just have it upside down. So we can go ahead and put the bolts in. Okay, and once you have those all tightened, then you're all done with your chair. We hope this video was helpful for you in assembling your bar stool. For more guides, tips, and tricks, go to walkeredison.com.